Hey, it's Eric G from Around the House. Quick favor. If you're enjoying the show, the absolute best way you can support us is by leaving a quick review on your favorite podcast player. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you're listening to. It literally takes 30 seconds. And here's why it matters so much to us. Those reviews help new listeners discover the podcast. Tell the algorithms we're worth recommending and give us the feedback we need to bring you even better episodes. More of the topics you love and guests that actually move the needle for you. That helps us help you. It's as simple as that. So if the show's been useful, funny, or just made your day a little better, pop over right now, drop a star rating, and a couple of sentences. We'll be genuinely grateful. Thanks for being a part of the Around the House crew, and let's keep that conversation going.
Welcome to Around the House with Eric G, your go-to source for everything home improvement. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast or just looking to make your space shine, Eric G is here to guide you through the latest tips, tricks, and trends. So grab your toolbox, put on your thinking cap, and let's get to work right here on Around the House with Eric G.
Welcome to the Around the House show, your trusted source for everything about your home. I'm Eric G. Thanks for joining me today. Wow, we got a busy one today in this midweek update, that show that comes in between the weekends, the one that fixes all the stuff that we didn't cover last weekend, and of course, doesn't touch the stuff we're doing this weekend as well, and we got a busy one today. Well, we had a little scare this week with Johnny down in Colombia with the big Colombian earthquake. We lost track of him for a couple days, but he is good, so if anybody out there is asking, Dudley's in good shape down there. He had a little bit of a ride, but he's a Californian at heart. So he's used to earthquakes, and him and I both rode out the Nisqually earthquake, which was a 6.9 up in the Seattle area back 25 years ago. And that was quite the ride. But to tell you what, that was one of those earthquakes that I was in on the mid-span of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. And if you don't know what that was, that is that bridge that you see in all your engineering classes and stuff where they called it Galloping Gertie, and it was flying around in the wind and finally crashed into the ocean. I rode the Nisqually quake out on that deal. And I tell you what, when you see the road deck in front of you move up and down 4, 5, 6 feet, that gets your undivided attention. So happy to see that he's doing well down there. And of course, thanks to all the people out there that were reaching out going, hey, how's Johnny? Because I actually heard from you guys before I'd even heard about the earthquake. So thanks for sending the messages over. And if I didn't get back to you, I'm sorry, but Johnny's doing well down there. Had a little bit of a ride, but no damage to him because he was far enough away. So that's all good. I got one coming in from Dan talking about creaking floors. Hey, Eric G, I bought a house and have buyer's remorse. The floors throughout the entire house creak when I walk on. So I'm disgusted and disappointed in a home under 8 years that has this problem. What's the least expensive solution? Who do you recommend to assess and provide a cost-effective solution? Home is about 2,400 square feet, including bonus room above the garage. Everything squeaks and flexes. Living out in the central Oregon high desert. Now, there are some things you can do, and it depends on the floor that you have. The best answer is if you got a lot of carpet, they make these cool little, well, I'll put this in our podcast notes here. They make these cool little screws that you can put down through the floor, through the carpet actually. And you can go down in to figure out where the floor joists are, and you can go down and screw those in through the floor into the joists, and you're good to go. And that will really help get things locked down, because what you have is you have the floor joist wood, and then you have the sheathing that's on the floor there, that subfloor material. That's what's moving around. And of course, out in central Oregon high desert country, this is where humidity, especially when this time of the year where it's super dry, you've got the AC running all the time because it's 90 plus degrees out there. That humidity is really low in the house, so things shrink, which means things create a little more space. I don't want you to have to go through and tear up floors. That's really not the best option here. But this can work really well if you just go around the room. If you've got hardwood floors, you can do the same thing. You're just going to be using a wax stick to kind of fix that. And you'll have to go in and then touch it up. Now, there's multiple ways to do that, but these screws are pretty small. So you can go through, patch them, get it looking good. and get it as close as you can. Now, if you've got a floating floor down there like LVP or something like that, I would actually take the base molding up, pull the LVP up, and then just start sinking screws or ring shank nails and get stuff in there. I like screws because it's going to hold it together a little bit better. Ring shanks are pretty good if you're just going to nail it, but I sure like using the screw method. That can work really well for that. The other option is to keep an eye on your humidity in the home. If you're getting under 20%, maybe adding a humidifier in the summertime just to add a little bit of humidity in there might help that wood swell up a little bit, and it could help that creaking as well. You never want it over 60, but if you can get it up into that 35 to 40, probably okay. If you're running around in the teens and you got that dry air, it could be drying stuff out enough to make it worse. So there's a few things you can mess with there that might get you there to get you kind of over the hump with that. It's Eric G from Around the House. Our Made in America 250 campaign spotlights American manufacturers like Ardex Americas. I use Ardex on my own tile projects. It's what the pros trust, and I'm one of them. I sat down with William White from Ardex as he shared the prep tips to make or break a tile job. If you haven't heard of Ardex, you need to give them a try. Go back and listen to episode 2240, Around the House with Eric G, wherever you get your podcasts. Hey guys, it's Eric G from Around the House. Our Made in America 250 campaign celebrates the American manufacturers shaping real design, like Dal Tile. As a kitchen designer, I've used Dal Tile on my own projects because great design starts with great materials, made right here in America. In this episode, we dig into how American-made tile elevates your next project. If you haven't experienced Dal Tile, you need to check them out. Go back and listen to episode 2241, Around the House with Eric G, wherever you get your podcasts. But I tell you what, guys, that's the challenge right there, is those squeaking floors and going around and trying to get those things dialed in, because that can be a massive problem. I get more spam messages coming in. Half of it's in Chinese, half of it's in something. I have no idea, but it gets pretty interesting when it comes in the door that way. So we get hundreds of emails in that way. And I tell you what, some of them spam, some of them I can't read. And if I can't read it, I'm not going to spend the time on it. They make Google for that. You can translate it and we'll take a look and see what happens. And I'll put the little tool there right in the podcast notes so you can find it right there. There'll be an Amazon link. It's not some link I'm making money on. I don't make a dime from that. We don't really play the affiliate marketing game with that, but that will help you get the right tool. And then, of course, if you've got a flooring guy around there, if you want to have somebody else do it, that's who I'd reach out to. They can go through and tighten stuff up, move stuff around if they have to, and they'll be able to help you out with that. So if you want to send messages like that, you got a problem that you're trying to figure out, what do I do? Head over to Around the House Online and you can message us right there, and it drops right into our email box. So I appreciate that. Well, one thing I wanted to talk about today was just a quick little bump here on the economy. We just saw this morning inflation numbers come out. That's looking pretty good. We're down just a little bit, which I'm okay with, which probably, let's be honest about it, there's no agenda here, but I think those numbers say that fuel prices went down. And yeah, when fuel prices go down, that makes things a little more affordable, but then they pop back up again. So we'll see what happens. I think everybody is looking forward to getting back to good fuel prices once this Iran mess is figured out. And I'm not going to debate that. This isn't one of those shows, but we all know that once we can get that oil price back down, it's going to get us a lot cheaper. And we're going to be able to continue with what's left of our summer on travel without paying a little bit extra. All right, guys, on our recalls today, Louisville ladder recalls over 1 million attic stairway ladders due to risk of serious injury or death from fall hazard. These are an aluminum pull-down attic stairway ladder. There's about 1.7 million of them and about 13,000 of them sold in Canada. Get a hold of them. There's a recall. Just head over to cpsc.gov/recalls. They've got the information there. Register your stuff and they will send you some replacement bolts to make sure that doesn't fail. Another super important one, DR Power Equipment recalls lawnmowers due to risk of serious injury or death from laceration hazard because it violates the mandatory standard for lawnmowers. So the blades can operate without the blade control system engaged. You know the rule. You got to pull the stupid little handle to make sure you don't fry yourself with the blade. So it will continue to work. So that is not working right. So consumers should stop using the recalled mowers immediately unless they've already received a free repair kit in the mail from DR has been installed. If the repair kit has not been installed, DR Power to receive an updated repair instruction or schedule a free repair from an authorized dealer. So there's only about 320 of these, so there's not a lot of those things out there. So obviously a new model that was from August 6th. Vanderhall North America recalls Brawley GTS electric recreational off-highway vehicles due to risk of serious injury or death from crash hazard. So the recalled recreational off-highway vehicle can maintain speed or accelerate when the accelerator pedal is released. So there is a new firmware you can install 7.1.0 through the Vanderhall customer mobile app. So make sure and do that. There's only 210 of those. So that's a big one there. And here's the scary one. Turismia zipline kits and zipline spring brakes recalled due to fallen collision hazards. There's about 60,000 of those out here. Guys, I'm going to say this. I would not buy these Chinesium safety equipment, zipline kits, all of this stuff. I think when it comes to safety, when it comes to batteries, tool batteries, stay away from that stuff. No sense burning a house down, burning your shop down, getting somebody hurt. Some of this stuff, you're better off getting the right materials yourself. And quite frankly, if you look at some of this stuff, super cheesy. And I think that could be a problem. I mean, they've got a 100-foot little cable. This thing looks super sketch. I wouldn't try it. So be really careful. One more that we talked about a few weeks ago, but just as a reminder, the Gallants Americas recalls retro fridges. These are those kind of 50s looking fridges, the small ones that they sold at, Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's kind of things. Risk of serious injury or death from fire or burn hazard. There's already one death reported, about 121,000 of these, and unplug it and stop using it until repaired. And they will come out and send out a repair person to fix that. And again, all this stuff is at cpsc.gov. So be careful out there, guys. A lot of different little things out there and lots of furniture, lots of kids' toys. Just be super careful. And you can find that at cpsc.gov. Had pages of punch list stuff on this. And one of them was pretty darn serious. We're talking, we have to reframe a wall that's finished. What are we going to have to do? And hats off to these cats. We walked in there. They went down the list and went, yep, we'll take care of it all in a week, including a bunch of siding work. So siding crew's going to have to come out, and no shade thrown on the siding crew. This was the framers missed square wall framing day. And so there was over a half-inch of sway in this wall off the center line. So if you were to call, okay, here's the center line of this wall moved half-inch in, half-inch out, all the way down the wall. But hats off to these cats. They sucked it up. They said, guys, this shouldn't happen. We're going to do our best to make it look better. Now, we're not asking them to tear the whole wall out, pull the carpet out, re-drywall. I don't want them to have to reframe the exterior wall. However, making it look like that they shimmed the wall out, making sure that looks good. Hats off to those guys by just saying, hey, we got to fix it and owning it. So got to give it to them. Now, one lesson I've learned from this, if you're having a house built, I wish these kids would have gone in there a little earlier so I could have done a pre-drywall inspection. There's a few things we could have caught. One of them was a big one. So if you're having a house built or you're out buying a house and you're getting a new development, pick one that's not done yet and pay to have that inspector go through and do that pre-drywall inspection so you can find out what things look like before they cover it up with drywall. And that's a big one. All right, guys, well, we got a great show coming up this weekend. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Have a great rest of the week. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in to Around the House. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks for tuning in to the Around the House show. Make sure you subscribe on your favorite way to catch podcasts. Also, be sure to subscribe to our new YouTube channel, and you can find it at Around the House HQ, and ring that bell for updates. Thanks for tuning in to Around the House.
Grab your buddy. Take this good time and turn it up louder. No one ever talks about the nights they went to bed, counting them sheep, catching Z's, getting beauty rest, acting your age, don't make for good story. Knock one back, no buzz, no glory. No one ever talks about the shots they didn't take, drinks.
Producer Jim here with a challenge. You've got a phone in your hand right now. I know you do. So open your podcast app, Find Around the House with Eric G and smash that 5-star review. Takes less time than picking out paint, and it helps homeowners everywhere find the show. If it's funny, we might even talk about it in the show. Rate it, review it, share it. Done? Great. Back to Eric.